Hello, my name is Bennet Parten. I'm a historian of the 19th century U.S., which makes me a historian of slavery, of abolition, the Civil War, Reconstruction, and sort of the global history of slavery in some regards. And I've been at Georgia Southern for all of 3 months. This is my first semester teaching here. What I love about teaching at Georgia Southern is that we have smaller classes, which means I get to develop relationships with my students. I get to see them sometimes while I'm eating lunch out in the courtyard. I get to know them a little bit more so than I would if I was teaching a much larger classroom. So that's one of the things I'm enjoying most about my time so far. In terms of what got me interested in history, I think first of all, I've always loved to read. And I think reading, especially reading at an early age, really unlocked a lot of things for me. The other thing I would attribute my interest in history to is just my family. My mom, my dad always supported being interested in history. I also grew up in a family of school teachers. My grandmother taught history for a long time, so I grew up in a family and a community that really valued history and valued the past and valued storytelling as well. Yeah, so the subject that I'm interested in that I don't get to discuss quite as often. It's an interesting question. And the one that I am really interested in is Caribbean history. When I was a graduate student, I kind of fell in and became friends with a lot of colleagues who were interested in histories of the Caribbean, of the early modern Atlantic world. And this is something that I don't get to teach very often, don't get to talk about too often. I'm not even sure if I necessarily would want to teach it, but it's one that I think it's a history that I think is really important and one that I'm really interested in. I try to bring to my classes whenever I can, but I don't get to all that often.